could be wrong, I could be right.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Manning. This is a training presentation today aimed at helping you understand more about the mediation process using a workplace case scenario involving a dispute between two parties. Mediation is a process that is aimed at creating opportunity for participants to come together with the assistance of a neutral third party to discuss their issues and resolve their concerns. There is the potential for a shift or realignment of perceptions. This has obvious benefits for the workplace if at the conclusion of mediation an agreement is reached and there is a new understanding between the parties. The mediation you'll be witnessing today is a condensed version of what would normally occur over a period of 3 to 5 hours. The scenario today involves two individuals working in the same human resources department, Frank and Nancy. Frank and Nancy were both co-workers. However, Frank was recently promoted to the position of managing Nancy. At Friday night drinks, Frank made inappropriate physical overtures towards Nancy. Subsequently, the employer initiated an investigation into the claim of harassment made by Nancy. However, the independent investigation was unable to corroborate the incident with witnesses, and the findings were not definitive. Nancy is now on work cover stress leave and has been off work for a period of 3 weeks. The employer has suggested to both Frank and Nancy that they participate in mediation. In the first joint session of mediation that I'll be conducting today, I'll ask the participants to summarise their concerns. I will then read the summary back to them, make an agenda of the items that they wish to discuss, and explore with them their concerns and issues throughout the mediation. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll just summarise that. Nancy, what you've told me is that you're really disappointed with Frank's behaviour, and that previously things were going, pretty well, even though you were a bit disappointed about missing out on the job, but you still wish Frank well, and you were really a bit surprised about him hitting on you. That came out of the blue, and then there was an offer to give you a neck massage, yeah? And your career's important, and you've been off work, and you do want to get back into the work environment. And the other thing that you talked about was that you were a bit surprised with the performance review, that Frank made the suggestion that your communication skills weren't particularly good, and that certainly came out of left field for you. And you don't see yourself as a poor communicator, you see yourself as a good communicator. So thanks, Frank. I'll just summarise what you've just stated. You've said that you and Nancy have worked together for some time and that you enjoyed a good relationship. You were a bit surprised about Nancy's response to your offer to massage her because you knew she had an injury, and it's from your perspective you felt she misconstrued that offer. Yep. You've mentioned that you had the recent performance review with Nancy, and you felt that was a developmental opportunity. For you to give some feedback and for her to improve her performance and grow, as you have mentioned with other staff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You've said that you've also recognised what happened at Friday night drinks and Nancy's reaction. You've got some regret about that, I think. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And but you feel that you'd like to get things back on track, but you're not quite sure how to start that process.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. What we're doing now is just asking both of you to identify the key items you'd like to discuss. So it's really up to you. What would you both like to put out there for discussion? Yeah, I guess what I've heard Nancy say is that she is struggling with, feeling humiliated and angry around the incident, and I guess what she said is that it is her feeling is that it's difficult for you to understand what she's gone through, and clearly it is because you're not in her shoes. But on the same side of that, you have acknowledged that what you did wasn't appropriate. That's my understanding. And I guess I just want to recap and sort of capture what we've agreed on here. are you comfortable with me incorporating these points as part of an agreement? And I'll just go through that you both are committed to rebuilding the working relationship, and that you acknowledge that that's going to require some time and really some trust building, you know, and that's just something that you know, risk taking on both your parts in regard to, you know, communicating and interpersonal interactions. Just that's going to be perhaps challenging at the start, and but step by step, you know, things might change for both of you in that regard. In terms of, I guess, your management style, you've mentioned it's consultative, and that was acknowledged by you as something, yeah. But we can include that agreement that there is a consultative style, that Frank apologises for his offer to massage Nancy, and that Nancy said, well, that could have been, you know, a bit of an overreaction on her part, but Frank unreservedly apologised for his behaviour at Friday night drinks, and and Nancy, you've accepted that, yeah, okay. So I'll incorporate that into an agreement. If you give me a moment, I'll just get that typed up and bring that back, and then I'll witness that and we can sign off on that. Does that seem okay? Is that, yeah, that's just pop your name and signature and date. Is that what your understanding is of what we've talked about? Yep, great. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thanks,
Okay,
Carol.
great, thank you. I'll just witness that. Okay, well, thank you both for coming today. I know it's been a difficult process, and it's probably been quite draining for both of you. You've certainly found a way forward. Clearly not all the issues are resolved. There's still work to be done in terms of rebuilding that relationship and trust, but at least we have a basic agreement in place. Now, as you are aware, I'll be giving a copy of that to HR management, so I'd just like to thank you both for participating in today, and I hope all goes well for the future. So thank you.
Thanks.